So, you feel like you're in pretty good shape? Add these exercises to your next 5K or long run and really challenge yourself for your upcoming obstacle course race event. Hello and welcome back to Lift, Run, Repeat. Jason Berg here with you today, and I have a real challenge lined up for you today. I'm going to show you 10 exercises that you should be doing during a 5K or longer run session at least once a week that will supercharge you in preparation for an obstacle course event. Plus, one bonus exercise that will really kill you. All right, let's get right into it here. This first one, you can see I'm just taking advantage of the environment. So that's what I want you to think about when you're doing a run. Just take advantage of something that's there. Here is just a stacked up line of boulders, some kind of like, it's probably like a barricade of some kind. It's not that hard. There's nothing scary about it here, but it does challenge you, 1 or 2 miles, 3 miles into your run. Next is a playground challenge. After you've done a lap or two, I want you to head back to the playground equipment, but over to the swing set. Do these pikes on one of the swings. It's very similar to a TRX pike. If you've done those before, it's very good for your core and your abs. It's very taxing for your arms and wrists, and it's a real good mental toughness challenge in the middle of your whatever distance you're running. All right, we're going to go back to the trail again. This is a combo of a balance run across a log to the high stump and with a solid soft landing. It's a really great exercise for practicing balance and kind of stringing exercises together. So when you're thinking about your environment, whatever environment you're taking advantage of, doing a combination of exercises in succession is going to really help you out. Alternatively, here I've changed it to a bunny hop over and back across the log, and then a jump up to the stump and then down and on. So you can kind of play with it. The whole idea here is there's not a strict regimented succession, because when you sign up for these obstacle courses or events, you don't know what's going to be coming. So the whole focus and the whole philosophy behind this style of training is to just kind of randomly throw things in while you're tired, just to challenge your body and challenge your mind. After a tough lower body one, usually I like to switch it to an arm exercise. So here I'm just kind of approaching the parallel bars and just doing a set of body weight dips. Nothing fancy here, just gonna go for repetitions. Go ahead and use your feet to balance yourself if you need to. If your total body weight is too much for you to do dips, but dips are a really great exercise, and I recommend those for pushing yourself up over a wall or up out of like a ditch or something like that. Let me tell you, this is killer during a park run and will really challenge you. Running lines is no fun for anybody anytime, and my old behind is certainly not enjoying it either. As you can clearly see here, any coach would probably yell at me for not getting both of my feet over the lines, but hey, it's still rough. It's really fantastic for those obstacles which need a burst of speed. Do definitely recommend doing this particular obstacle.
Old man sprints. They're good.
I've talked before a lot about this, but it bears repeating just because I think it's so key to having a successful event run. And that's the lower body leg strength and having that real good solid tissue resiliency that you're going to need late or early. What you don't want to do is not be resilient in the lower body and pull something or strain something. You may not even be able to finish depending on how long your event is. So this exercise I really recommend after you've done two-footed and a lot of other hopping exercises is just a single leg hop up on this curb. I'm trying to do rebounds back up, like bounce down and then rebound back up, but you can see that my left leg is still lagging behind even after several years post knee injury. There's the right foot there looking like how I want it to, though, down and rebound back up. As I said, this is something you want to build to, so if you haven't watched my other videos, now would be a good time to do that and see how you'd want to build up towards that single leg rebounding drill there with the more two-footed exercises. I can tell you, you will want to put this exercise in the early part of your workout, but I'm telling you, don't. Put it late. Make it harder. When you're in the gym, you can practice these kind of exercises. But for this park run, particularly as you start to approach your event date, you're going to want to do this late. I believe that. It works for me. So if you've been practicing on the monkey bars, by now you should be experimenting with different methods for traversing. Combo them together like this, or find your own way. Remember, late in the run though. Here I'm just focusing on different ways of gripping the bar, because there are different gripping stations and gripping type obstacles where I'm hanging on objects. So I don't always want to be using those straight bars. Sometimes I'm grabbing by the sides here, or maybe I'm going backwards. Especially on a set like this that's really short, I really have to be able to go back and forth at least once in order to be ready for the long spans that an event like Tough Mudder has. One that you can do early on though, and is a really good stretch and grip strengthener, is a timed one-arm hang. 20 seconds each single arm hang is really going to help out your grip strength. If you've been training this way for a little while, like at least once a week, you're going and doing these park runs, then you should be, able to hold your own body weight for a period of time. So this is a good opportunity to let go with one hand and really just hold on with one. I really don't think you can overestimate how important grip strength is, particularly in this Tough Mudder event. There's so many stations for which grabbing onto an object and either holding your own body and traversing across, or pulling yourself up requires holding on. This is a really good exercise, and you definitely want to incorporate this. Another great idea here is to change some angles on just a variant of a push-up. Here I'm just doing an incline push-up. Here I'm using these bars, but you could use the back of a bench. You could use anything you can use to elevate your feet up off the ground. It's a good challenge for the shoulders, the triceps, and more. And finally, as your bonus, one exercise that you definitely want to add late into your workout if you really want to collapse into a bubbling heap of flesh is these hanging crunches. This is a real challenge for you at the end of, say, 4, 5, 6 miles, depending on how long you're going. Typically by this time, a month and a half out, my park runs are going to be probably 6 miles long, so I'm doing multiple stations over and over again. So here I'm going to be really challenging my grip strength again, my arm strength again, and then throwing in this grueling lower body lift here with these hanging crunches. Very difficult, very taxing. So there you go. I get a ton of questions about training for Tough Mudder because people think it's weird. I had a lot of fun putting this series of videos together. Hopefully, if you watch these, you got something out of it. Even if you're not doing an obstacle course race, after every mile or mile and a half, just stop on the curb and do 10 squats. After you go another mile or two, drop and do 10 push-ups. It's a great way to incorporate a different type of exercise into something you're already good at. So again, I had a lot of fun making this series. This is only the beginning though for the channel, so please do come back next week and I'll have something different and we'll start something else. Thanks for watching. I am still Jason Berg. If you like this content, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week on Lift, Run, Repeat.